तो कोलकाता रे डाक्तरों को दुष्कर्म एवं हत्या घटना रे सुप्रीम कोर्ट रे चली शुणाणी तेबे एने गोटे पिटिशन दाखल मध्य करा जाइतिला जे केमती डाक्तरों प्रतिवाद आ दाबी भितर से सुरक्षा को नहीं अनेक प्रश्न उठाउछंती सरकार पाखरे अन्यपटे पश्चिमबंग सरकार अनेक क्षयक्षति ए प्रतिवाद भंगारुजा कारण ए प्रसंग उठाई तो यारी भितर आज मामलार शुणाणी सुप्रीम कोर्ट रे चली प्रिंसिपाल कौन करुले सीजेआई ए प्रश्न करिसेंती तो 7000 लोक हॉस्पिटल रे पसिले पुलिस करुथिला कौन बोली यह प्रश्न करिसेंती सीजेआई
postmortem all is videographed, everything is videographed.
The autopsy and the postmortem take place.
Between 1:45 to 4 p.m.
Now, between 1:45 and 4 p.m., the autopsy takes place, followed by the
My lord, the
postmortem.
autopsy took place at 6 o'clock, not at.
Fair enough. That's all right. We'll take it as one between.
ते
1
गुरुवार
and 4
सुधा
o'clock.
स्टाटस
It doesn't
रिपोर्ट
take place in
दाखल
1
पई
minute. It's a-
निर्देश
it's
मध्य
a-
रही
One second.
कोलकाता रे ट्रेनी डाक्तरों को दुष्कर्म हत्या मामला रे सुप्रीम कोर्ट रे एबे शुणाणी चली केवल एक हत्याकांड मामला नुहे बोली यह सीजेआई कहते पीड़ित परिवार को मृतदेह देखा दिया गलानी प्रिंसिपाल कौन करुथिले बोली सीजेआई ए प्रश्न पचारि तो ए घटनार जेतेबेले तदंत चली ए तदंत भितरे मामलाटी सुप्रीम कोर्ट को जाइथिला तो कोर्ट आज यहाँ उपरे शुणाणी करुछंती तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को तत्वावधान रे गठन एवं टास्क फोर्स ये वर्तमान समय गोटे बड़ खबर जे ए घटना रे जो गठित टास्क फोर्स मध्य तदंत करिबो अनुध्यान करिबो डाक्तरों को सुरक्षा को नहीं सीजेआई चिंता प्रकट करिसेंती सुरक्षा व्यवस्था उपरे मध्य प्रश्न उठाइछंती सीजेआई डाक्तरों को पई विश्राम गृह नथिबा देखिछु बोली ए रिपोर्ट रे मध्य कुआ जायछि ए परिस्थिति रे किपरि काम करिबे बोली सुप्रीम कोर्ट ए कथा पचारिछंती जे या केवल एक हत्याकांड मामला रे डाक्तरों को सुरक्षा को नहीं मध्य अनेक प्रश्न उठुछि आ जो आमे देखितलु जे सारा देश रे डाक्तर संघ पक्षरु प्रतिवाद विरोध करा जायतिला जे सरकार डाक्तरों को सुरक्षा जोगाई पारु नाहंती आ जहा फल रे गोटी परे गोटी एमती विशृंखला खबर आसुछि अनेक समय रे रोगी मृत्यु को नहीं डाक्तरों को मारपीट खबर रहिछि तो पुणी कोलकाता भली शहर रे जेतेबेले जणे कनिष्ठ डाक्तरों को दुष्कर्म करा जाउछि तापरे हत्या तो ए घटना को बेस गुरुतर सह नैचंती
It is the obligation of the authorities of the hospital. The parents are not present in the hospital when the murder takes place.
Yes.
It's the obligation of the authorities of the hospital to register an FIR the moment they
2:45
realize.
it was done. 2:45 done. The letter was sent.
11:45 in the
No, 2:45 letter was sent. Assistant superintendent sent a letter at 2:45 minutes. It is not 11:30. At 2:45 itself, we'll set out all this, Malaj. It's better we set it.
What we,
Lordships may give me 5 minutes, my lord,
Yes.
to further, my lord, to assist your lordships. My lord, first of all, Lord, let us not trivialize on this side, my lord, we are dealing with one incident, but your lordships are rightly looking at a larger picture. But we are dealing with, my lord, a young doctor, not only raped by a sexual pervert or perverts, but who was an animal-like instinct, who had an animal-like instinct, the way, my lord, the body was handled. Thereafter, my lord, I don't wish, my lord, to make this a political issue. I would request the state also not to be in a denial mode. 3 hours of the patient, parents waiting, my lord, is something we can experience if we put ourselves in that position. Now, my lord, so far as the safety is concerned, my lord, one thing I must bring to your lordship's notice. My lord, the doctors are genuinely, my lord, have a grievance. They are, my lord, they've lost one of their colleagues, my lord, globally. But, my lord, out of, my lord, all states, 23 states have legislations dealing with, my lord, what is called for, my lord, Kerala, my lord, so-and-so Medicare service persons and medical service institutions, Prevention of Violence and Damage or Loss to the Property Act. There are, my lord, I'll give, my lord, the list of acts. My lord, this also the National Task Force, my lord, can go.
the punishment which is provided under.
It's a cognizable, my lord, and
3 years.
3 years.
yes, my lord. It's cognizable, non-bailable, and punishment is 3 years. My lord, this is first. I'll, my lord, place it. The National Task Force, my lord, which our lordships contemplate, can, my lord, go into this, can even make suggestions, and it should be welcome, my lord. My lord, second thing, my lord, which is worrying us is this. My lord, even in a well-organized function, if we want the presence of 500 people in an auditorium, we all know we have to make efforts. 7,000 people at the middle of the night armed with lathis and hockeys, my lord, can never be without the knowledge, if not consent, of the police force. It's complete failure of law and order, my lord, in the entire state.
What time did the vandalization of the hospital take place?
My lord, midnight, it's at midnight, my lord.
I thought my
7,000
learned
people-
friend, he doesn't want to politicize the matter, Malad. Why is he saying all this?
Now,
Let's-
why this is, my lord, important.
We should be called upon. We'll tell you what happened.
Mr. Solicitor, what we'll do is that we'll.
One more aspect,
One.
one more aspect. Lord, and my lord, again, my learned friend may feel that this is, my lord, but this is directly related to the issue in question. Lord, the West Bengal has an in-charge DIG.
In
Lord,
charge?
In-charge DIG, Director General of Police, who is already being charged and being, my lord, considered by your lordships for having fabricated or otherwise dealt with the evidence in Sharda scam case. My lord, your lordship's
Calcutta
direction
police
in
doesn't
Kaka
come under
must have-
DGP.
Mr.
Calcutta police doesn't come under DGP. Why are you saying all this?
What this has to do
Lord,
This is
then.
Director
Kolkata
General
police.
of Police
This has nothing
is
to
an
do with
in-charge
What is all
DGP.
this?
Charge
Not
it
let someone else be
Well,
the
this is
in-charge.
what is happening.
Let them choose, but not the man who is already
This is
accused
the
of
kind of
having.
misinformation we are having, Malad.
This is
And
This is nothing to do, this is a
nothing to do.
only a minute.
Malad, I have only one small
तो
request.
ଏବେ ବି ସୁପ୍ରିମକୋର୍ଟ को ଶୁଣାଣି ଚାଲିଛି ସିଜିଆଇ ମାମଲାର ଶୁଣାଣି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତ ପଶ୍ଚିମବଙ୍ଗ ସରକାର ଓ ପୋଲିସ ଉପରେ ସିଜିଆଇ ଅନେକ ପ୍ରକାର
Malad,
ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ
whatever your
ଉଠାଇଛନ୍ତି
lordship
ତ ସେ
says, we will
ସମୟରେ
do. There is no
ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ
issue.
କରୁଥିଲେ
SIT is
କ'ଣ
constituted.
State, you must-
SIT is constituted, but whatever your lordships will say, we will do. We are not, Malad, this is not adversarial, as I said. Malad, just give me, just 1 minute. I just handed over something to your lordship. Just have a look at it, Malad.
Depends on
Just
the.
give it to
Can
my
I
lord.
only con-
3
can I
copies
only
that
con-
I hand.
All right, Mr. Sibal, we'll just hear the solicitor for a minute. He just wants a minute.
All
and then we-
Lord, I just, my lord, I want this, my lord.
Your lordship,
Lord,
may I
an
just submit?
in-charge DG who is already a tainted officer in an affidavit filed before this court should be replaced by any other in-charge DG of their choice.
Malad, just have this.
Another,
We have
my lord.
we have set out what is in the media and we have set out the reality.
No, share it with
For,
all of us.
we will share it, don't worry.
No,
Kolkata police informed the family members that the present case was
they
a
are
case
in
of
a denial
suicide.
mode.
False.
No, another
False.
aspect, another aspect.
At
My
no
lord,
time did
ask
the
for
police give
judgment.
this information.
Actually, what we propose to do is, we'll indicate what the broad parameters of our intervention in this matter consists of. We'll just pronounce it very shortly. For one thing, Mr. Sibal, we are very, very concerned. Let not the power of the state of West Bengal be unleashed on peaceful protesters.
Malad, I give to your, we
Lord,
have
why-
videos, we have
Without
videos of
protest,
all
it
that
is
happened.
unleashed.
People, whether they are doctors, civil society, lawyers, people who are protesting, so long as there's no act of destruction of.
We have
property,
videos. We agree,
let there not be the power of the state unleashed. on
agree.
Peaceful protest.
Malad, I agree, and that has not happened. 1 second. We have videos which we have placed, which we'll place before your lordship. And Malad, what happens is, political parties get into the act and this is what happens.
People who are taking to the media to communicate their views.
Yes.
Let us deal with them with a great deal of.
I agree, I
sympathy. It's a time of national catharsis because.
Look at the girl, don't
Lost
be in
in
denial.
Malad,
mode.
now, for example, they say pelvic and collarbone was broken. False. Postmortem doesn't say that.
We're not
Lordship,
going to
state
fight.
and the center, they'll keep arguing.
CBI,
Fair.
CBI is investigating it.
Yes.
We will ask for a report from the CBI. Now, what we propose to
I
is,
just-
1 second,
Just one second.
this must stop. We are in charge of the proceeding. We have heard Mr. Solicitor, we have heard Mr. Sibal. If we start hearing all the interveners, there'll be no end to it.
Lordship,
Please have some patience. We are going to now tell you what we are proposing to do. We are not disposing of the case, but let's allow us to at least pronounce what we intend to do. All right.
No, this is the list of
sorry.
acts.
Would your lordship just
This
give
On,
us a minute?
on 9 August 2024, a 31-year-old postgraduate doctor at RG Kar Medical College Hospital, Kolkata, who was in a 36-hour duty shift, was raped and murdered inside the seminar room of the hospital. As horrific details have emerged in the course of media reportage, the brutality of the sexual assault and the nature of the crime have shocked the conscience of the nation. The name and graphic images of the deceased have been widely circulated on social media without regard to her privacy or dignity. Writ petitions were instituted before the Calcutta High Court seeking, among other things, a court-monitored investigation of the crime and the conduct of the hospital authorities, including the role of the principal of the medical college and other officials by a special team of investigating officers. It has been alleged that the parents of the deceased were initially informed that their daughter had committed suicide. They were permitted to see the dead body after several hours, and a first information report in regard to the murder was registered belatedly by the police after several hours. By its order dated 13 August 2024, the High Court transferred the investigation to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Following the incident, agitations and protests were called by doctors' associations, student bodies, and civic groups across the country. On the eve of Independence Day, several areas in Kolkata saw protests spurred by the Reclaim the Night campaign. At 12:30 a.m. on 15 August, when a protest was underway at the hospital, a large mob assembled at the premises of the RG Kar Medical College Hospital and vandalized the emergency ward and other departments of the hospital. Following the acts of wanton disruption and vandalism, the Indian Medical Association, a private and voluntary organization of doctors in India, called for a nationwide withdrawal of medical services except emergency services for 24 hours on 17 August 2024. In the aftermath of the brutal incident and the demonstrations which followed, the state government was expected to ensure the deployment of the state machinery to prevent a breach of law and order. It was all the more necessary to do so since investigation of the crime which took place in the precincts of the hospital was underway. We are unable to comprehend how the state was not prepared to deal with the incident of vandalization of the premises of the hospital.